should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rope ride.
Hey, brother.
What's up? Cowboy Cole. I can't believe it's been so long, man. It's insane.
We were just reminiscing on how it's been like since the beginning of May since we've got to just sit down and have a really good bullshit and even see your face, dude. I feel like it's been so long since I've just seen you.
I know, man. It's insane, but happy to be here with you. We have some big announcements coming up for today. People have been messaging me. This is amazing that we have listeners that are holding on to the Tuesday. They're like, when are you guys posting a new episode? So
Hmm.
thank you so much for everyone that's been a part of this, that's listening, that's watching the YouTubes, that's sharing it. It's so cool to know that, you do this once a week, but you don't know how many people are listening or if it's actually getting to people. So it's so cool to hear that. Sorry we haven't posted in the last few days. Cowboy Cole held it down, did 2 episodes by himself. They were phenomenal. Thank you so much for doing that, brother. I was
Hmm.
traveling. Cowboy Cole was running everywhere. This guy is on the mic. He's on fire. Every day I open the Instagram, it's like, where's Waldo? Where's Cowboy Cole?
Yeah.
He's in a different part of Western Canada or the United States. But huge news coming out. First thing I want to talk about here is Cowboy Cole is off the market, ladies. That's right. Start crying. Get your handkerchiefs out. He's hitched. Cowboy Cole, tell us the big news.
Yeah, dude. Last night did a big thing, made a big boy decision, and proposed to my girlfriend Tiger officially. Yeah. She said yes.
Wow. You are officially the Tiger King. Yeah. Bro, I'm so happy for you. Tiger is an amazing human being. You're an amazing human being. You guys are made for each other, and I cannot wait for this new chapter of your lives as you construct a family and everything else, all the excitement. Tell me about the whirlwind. How
Mm.
was it? Number one, I want to know about because this is a huge thing. Uh, for me, it was very nerve-wracking getting the ring. It all started there. Which ring do you buy? Where do you go?
Hmm.
Tell me about that day. What was that like for you?
Well, I had tried to do as much recon as I could about what she would even want, because like that's the other thing too is getting the ring is already stressful enough, but getting the right one, dude, you don't want to present this girl a ring where she's like, "Yes, but what the fuck is that?" You know what I'm
A
saying?
hundo, P, bro.
So before I had come home from Arizona with the horses and all that, I had, she was kind of bugging me about it a little bit and this and that. So I was like, well, what would you even want? What would you even want for a ring? And so she showed me straight out, sent me a link so I could have like something to look back at
You
and
had a
everything.
north. You had a north. You
Hmm.
knew kind of where you were shooting.
But then my big whoopsie was I didn't ask a ring size. So
Mhm.
when I set up to go look at rings, I brought my sister and my best friend Brooke. We went into Spence Diamonds that day, and like I had had a ring from a past engagement that didn't work out, and it's from Spence as well. So I got full trade-in value for that thing, is what they told me. So I was like, okay, sweet. Like, so we went and looked that day, and things just kind of fell into place. Found like I had like three on my finger that we were walking around that I was like, oh, I think she'd like these ones. But then I saw the one that she's now wearing, and I was like, that's got to be it. So we like did the whole process, and nothing about it felt forced. Nothing about it made me feel like I wanted to pull back and run off like a bad calf horse. Like it all just kind of seemed to happen organically and just flow throughout the day. And that was kind of my intention was just like, we came here to shop and to have a look. And if the right one pops up, perfect. And it did. But then the guy's just like, and what's her ring size? And I was like, oh shit, I don't know. So then, and I don't know ring sizes. So Ravenbrook, they made the guess, and it fits a little big, which I guess is better than being too small. And
Yes, sir.
we
Yes,
get
sir.
we get one free resize at that place, which is sweet. So we'll get that done. But yeah, dude, it was.
Oh.
I feel like buying the ring went so smooth, and then the day of engagement was just a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, that was gonna be the next question. What's it like? Let's go back 24 hours prior to the day they're gonna ask this woman to marry you. What's running through your head? Are your hands sweaty? Like you're with her. Where's the ring? That was also a huge thing.
Mm,
Like when I bought the ring, all of a sudden it became, where do I put this thing? Because
hmm.
Clara goes through all my shit and like she can't find this prior to the big question. So what was it like, the final moments prior to?
Yeah, dude. So first off, for anybody that needs to hide a ring, I highly recommend your prison wallet. That's a great place.
I thought you were gonna say Uranus. I was like, okay, that's a little.
No, dude, I kind of had the same thing because I was gone to Prince George when her and Rave got up here with the RV. So I was like, I can't have this thing just loitering around in my room, especially if they get home late at night. They're not going to rig up the RV, so she's going to stay in my room that
Oh
night
yeah, just
in
going
the
through
house.
drawers aimlessly, like
Yeah,
searching
so
for
I'm just
things.
like, fuck. So yeah, I hid that thing in my travel backpack that I did all my backpacking with, which is like shoved in the far back corner of my closet, just like an area that
Nice.
I don't even go anymore, you know?
It's like the dark hole
So
of your closet.
it
Like,
really
yeah,
is, dude. You might get
nice.
sucked into the abyss in there and end up in
There might
normal.
be a dead body in there. We don't
Yeah.
know. We don't
Just
know.
wondering what that smell was. But yes, so day of, I'm not gonna lie to you, straight up having a coffee, smoking a J in the morning, just going through my head of like, you do this, this is like one of the biggest commitments you'll ever make in your life.
Ain't no turning back. Ain't no
Ain't
turning
no
back.
turning back. I come from a very happy, healthy home, so grateful for that. So grateful to grow up around marriages that went the distance and
Yes, sir.
lasted. But they go through fucking adversity, big time, and big
Yes,
time
sir.
lows and big time highs. And like, just in my head, I was like, this is somebody who I've already been through some pretty crazy highs and lows with. And like, she had just recently lost a sister-in-law and went through some
Yeah.
really, really hard times with her family. And it was at a time where I was literally flying left, right, center everywhere for my job, and it was just like, holy shit, like we've already been through some pretty crazy shit together,
Yeah.
and it's only gonna get better, right? Like, so I was, yeah, it was just a roller coaster of like essentially not, don't get in your own way. It was just like, man, you had the positive intention when you went ring shopping and you found the ring, so like things are just happening. She booked this photo shoot for our anniversary and I was able, I knew the photographer, so I was able to message her and be like, "Yo, I think I'm gonna slip this in." And she was down for it. She's like, "I'll get
Perfect.
freaking B-roll video and blah blah blah." And I had her ass surprised. So it kind of just worked, And so there's no
Man,
sense getting in your own way about it.
I love it. I love it. And I know nowadays it's a big thing for you. Everyone wants to know everything, right? Everything's so controlled. Like I have friends that the girl knew that it was gonna happen at that day, just didn't know maybe the exact moment. And it's like I love the surprise element. Like that's what it's all about. Like I understand you kind of gotta get a north and know what kind of ring the girl's gonna want, but I love the surprise aspect of it. Like you said, she had no idea. What was it like when it happened? Like, did she just start crying? Like or like, did she take a second to be like, what's happening? Like, how did it go?
Yeah, when she spun around, because she was standing pretty close to Ledoux and kind of like pointing over him, like along there, along where the grass is cut. And then I was like, "Hey, lady," and she turned around and she just kind of gasped in and covered her mouth and was like, "You chose to do it today," And then I
Oh,
can't remember quite what I said to her, but it was something like, "Do you want to do the rest of this crazy life with me?" And she was like nodding yes and ugly crying and like
oh.
gasping for air. You know when you can't breathe because it's just getting flooded with water?
Yeah.
So yeah, got her pretty good and she had a good cry and then the photographer started crying and
Wow,
everybody was
that is
crying.
everybody's crying. Were your parentals around? Did they know? Your
They
sister?
yeah, they had a good idea. Rave knew, mom knew and dad, I think dad probably knew. I don't I don't know.
Classic fathers. Like
But
he knew. He knew for sure.
because my
Your mom
plan
told him.
was kind of maybe to do it today, which is the Friday, our
Okay.
anniversary. We're gonna go for supper, pending it's not raining too hard. We're gonna go to a Dogs game tonight, and then I was
Nice.
gonna try and have some kind of party set up here, find a way to propose to her in the driveway, and then when we pulled in, everybody would be like, "Yeah, let's party."
Surprise.
But then it was just like, well, I also wanted to have the horses in
Yeah,
there as well, because
that's
that's what
yeah.
honestly kind of brought us together too. Like when
Yes, sir.
she found me when she started team roping and getting into the life and learning about the life and found my social media page and found somebody who was like making fun of the sport that she's getting into and then
Yeah.
one thing led to another and now here we are. So I really wanted the horses to be involved And where I had planned to do it originally was going to be not an ideal spot for somebody to hide and like catch the moment. So I was like, well, if we're getting the horses out for this photo shoot and we're getting dressed up, my bitch ass better fucking take a swing here at the home plate.
Man, it's perfect. But is today your anniversary?
Yeah,
Did you just drop that nonchalantly? How many years?
two.
2 years. Wow.
Hmm.
And it's today. Today is the 20th of June.
Yeah.
What's
So
your what was your first date like? I've never asked you this. So Tiger creeps in on your DM
mhm.
and says, "Hey, I like your stash," or whatever she said. And then what's your actual, like, when do you meet her? Like, what's the first date?
we had talked on and off for quite a while. Um, and then I remember calling her. I think the first time I kind of started to call her when I was working on the show Wind River. And so the hours were crazy, and I was working on Fortress Mountain where there's no cell service at all, bombing a sled up and down these
Oh,
mountains,
wow.
ripping cast and crew and food and you name it around this mountain. So I was never really on my phone. So I would call her when I would get done work at like 11 p.m.,
Wow.
midnight, and like shit like that. And we'd talk for 5, 10 minutes, and like it'll come out eventually. There's something already kind of leaked about it, but we got to do an avalanche blast for this movie, and it like
You show me. It almost took
yeah,
out like
yeah,
three towns and
you
killed like
know,
100
right?
people.
Yeah.
Little miscalculation, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember calling her after that night and just being like, holy fuck, you will not guess what the fuck happened to me today, you know?
But wait, what's coming out on that? Like some kind of documentary behind the scenes of like what
Yeah.
happened?
No, Wind River 2.
Oh,
Wind
the
River 2, it'll
actual
be dope.
shot.
Yeah.
Like the actual shot's coming out. Okay.
Yeah, it will be. I can't wait to see that scene put together. It's gonna be so badass.
Oh, it's gonna look beautiful. From like the iPhone footage you show me, it's like
Yeah, it's just like, oh
already
my
epic.
God.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I was rodeoing and I remember it was the Grand Prairie weekend and I was kind of calling her after each run, just letting her know how it was going and everything. And then it was that weekend that I was like, hey, would you want to come up to Canada for a visit? And she goes, yep. But looking at my schedule, the only time I could make it up there is either like next weekend or not till August. And I looked at my schedule and I was going hard in the paint in the rodeos that year. So I was like, well, that kind of works out because next weekend is Innisfail Stavely, which are two super close rodeos. And then after that, I too can't get together until sometime into August because we're gone 3, 4, 5 rodeos a weekend everywhere. But like Innisfail Stavely, man, those are just up and back, easy day trips,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's essentially what happened. Our first date was
Wow.
going to Innisfail Slack together, and we drove up to Grady Quam's house, and we jumped with Grady, his girlfriend Madison, my partner at the time, Orrin, and off we went to Innisfail.
Wow. That is amazing, bro. That's
Hmm.
tough though. It's tough. When you have a first date with someone, usually you go out for dinner, it's awkward, you're nervous, yada yada yada, and then you go to each person goes to their own house. When you have a first date like that, you're locked in with the person for the weekend, 3 days, 4 days. There ain't no running, but if this thing
Yeah.
goes south, if this girl is a stage nine clinger or she's catfishing you and the photo she sent you was from 10 years back, and guess what? She's put on 200 to 300 pounds. You
Yeah.
cannot run away from this lady. Like you're
Nah, dog, unless you want to drop another 400, $500 to put her on a last minute flight to get her ass out of here, you just got to ride it out.
yeah, and you're riding it out. There's no way you're halfway through telling her that you're putting her on a flight back home, especially a sweetheart like you. Like you're in it for the long haul. You're bringing her to the rodeos. You're showing her off to all your friends.
Hmm. Absolutely, dude. Yeah, so
Wow.
it was super funny. I picked her up in the Forerunner
Yep.
and we stayed the one night at the ranch, and then early the next morning we
Met
gotta
your
go.
parents already? First day, like, hey, here's my parents.
That was the
That's
other thing too, is she was thrown right to the wolves, man, because I was
yeah,
like, I told her, I said, okay, that's perfect. I live on a property that has both my parents, my sister, and my 93-year-old grandmother on
yeah.
it.
Two
So
grays.
we're essentially a Hutterite colony. Had two grays in a bay at that time, and
How do you feel about Mennonites?
yeah. How do you feel about men in tights? I mean, yeah,
Oh
no.
my
So
God.
it's been a kind of a sink or swim
Yes,
since
sir.
we started dating, right? Like thrown to the wolves up here.
Best
Here's the whole
way.
fam.
Yep.
My lifestyle, my entrepreneurial lifestyle. There's times where I'm flat ass broke as a motherfucker, and there's
Yes,
times
sir.
where, you know, well, I have a phenomenal month because I had whatever social media gigs and whatever mic gigs and,
Yes, sir.
my kind of different avenues of income. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad, and
That's it, buddy.
and she loves me for me, so that's crazy.
That's awesome. How could she not love you, buddy? That's awesome. So happy for you guys. Like I said, I think you're two phenomenal people, and it's nice to see good people coming together and starting a family. That's what life's all about. I can't wait to see the little Coles running around one day. The world needs more cowboys. That's crazy
Yeah,
to
they
think
do.
about.
Yeah,
But
bro.
congratulations, buddy. And for
Thank
you
you.
listening, watching, pop the question, old son. Don't wait too long. You might lose him.
Stay out of your own way, brother. If it feels right, roll with it.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
yeah.
Follow your heart. Follow your heart. And if you need help buying your ring, call Cowboy Cole.
That's right.
He is now
I'm a
gonna be working in
ringmaster.
that field as well. The ringmaster,
Yeah.
Cowboy Cole. Okay,
Yes,
speaking
dude.
of ringmasters, let's talk about a few things right now before we talk about your insane schedule, my insane schedule, everything we've been up to. Big things happening in the rodeo world. Oh dear, let's talk about Snake River.
Bro.
What is happening, Cole? 3.2?
Mm-hmm.
You're our team roping expert here. Let's run that down.
Dude, that was just like such a phenomenal job of getting out at the barrier. And buddy, it's not like he had a swing cracked off and was throwing it across the line. Nah, dog, he saw his start and just as he left with his horse, picked up that swing sharp. I mean, I think he kind of rolled it on him, but whatever, dude, it don't matter. Got it on the horns. I had a couple people sending me the video being like crossfire question mark. They let them go 3-2 but flag out Logan Medlin at 3-1 at the NFR. And I thought of Medlin's run, and I honestly I just think about how the structure of the steer broke down. The Snake River one looked maybe a touch cleaner than Medlin's, but at the same time, it comes down to who's flagging, honestly. And it don't matter,
100p.
right?
100p.
Like the boys stretched him out in 3-2 and that flagger called it good. Badass, dude. We just set a new
Yeah,
bar, man. That's so rank. And a
that's
couple,
unbelievable.
I'm not going to say a couple no names because those, well, we've been watching those guys knock beef down fast every year. They haven't been to the NFR, but that just goes to show you the caliber of talent that
100%.
has yet to break that bubble to make the NFR, man. Like there's some dogs riding around at those rodeos that can bang them out in the potential to go world record time, man. So that's pretty rank.
That's insane, bro. 3.2, I saw that this morning and I was like, my mind's just blown. Like these guys are just elevating the sport to such a level where it's like, how can you get any faster? It seems like you can't, but they just keep doing it. Like, what do you think it is? Like, is it the new kids? Is it the horses? Is it like what's changing?
I think it's big time the horses, especially on the heel
Yeah,
side, man. Like these headers are getting it on steers so fast. But if you aren't riding something that's quick enough to get you there to take that
right.
throw, then they go, they maybe go 3-9 or 4 flat, right? And it's great. It's a phenomenal run. It's a great run still. But the fact that that dude was able to drive so hard to the feet and take a throw that had some people questioning crossfire or not, that's huge, dude.
Yeah, man, that's insane. And speaking of breaking records, Riley Webb, who like someone needs to check if this guy is not AI generated or if he has a beating heart. Like the guy's a machine, man. He's so young. It just doesn't make any sense to me. He just broke the Sisters Rodeo arena record, roped a 6'9". Someone had just put up a 7, I think it was. I forgot who it was. And then he comes out and just eats it with a 6'9". Like
No
insane.
way. I didn't see that.
Yeah, just the other day, a couple days ago, in the Slack. That's what I love about it. Just like Slack roping 7, 6, 9. Like what's happening? I might have been Kincaid Henry that came out and put up a 7 flat. Yeah, man, these kids are not playing around. And also
Hmm.
shout out to Sisters Rodeo. I think their slogan is like the biggest little rodeo in the world, which I love already. They pull it off, start everything with the tie down roping. Not many rodeos
Mm.
start the perf with tie down roping. I loved seeing that. I really want to get down there one day.
That's cool, actually. Just started off strong. Like, here we go, boys. We rodeo.
Yeah, we rodeoing boys. Yeah, I thought that was really cool because I can't. Maybe you've been to a lot more rodeos than me in North America. Like, do you know any other rodeos that start with tie down roping?
Nope.
I don't either.
Nope. When I was a kid growing up, it was always bareback, and now it seems to be barrels.
Now it seems to everyone does whatever the hell they want, right? But you're right. Traditionally, it was always bareback, right? That's just the way it went. No one like
Hmm.
dared to change the order. Now it's like seems like it's a free for all. Like, what do
Yeah.
you guys want to do today? Like,
Yeah. freaking playing a game of Scrabble with the
Well,
rodeo events.
you know what though? I take it back. They don't start with sidearm rodeo. It's the first official rodeo event, but they start with the wild bronc riding, where you got to like three
Oh,
guys, which I love, by the way. Like how
the
we,
wild
we should
horse
do that
racing.
one day. Hey, what would you do? I think one of us would have to ride. We definitely can't anchor. We need a bigger guy to
Yeah, I
anchor.
was trying to think of who we could get to anchor.
Maybe we can convince Luke Branquino. He'd be a good anchor.
Hey, that'd be all right, eh?
He has lost a lot of weight though, so
Get
but
Straws Miling back there.
oh yeah, that's a great anchor.
Hey, that'd be perfect.
Um,
I'd probably ride if you want to ear that bitch down. I'd ride.
yeah, all right. I think I would love to try it, and I would love to shoot something on it as well because it's cool, man. Like I have to say, I'm watching the Sisters Rodeo here on Cowboy Channel, and they don't shoot it very well. That's the
Mm.
one thing I have to. That would be my notes to them is they need to shoot it better. They need more cameras because the announcers are like, "Oh dear, look at the gray! Look what he just did to that guy," and you're on the done. Like you have no idea
Yeah.
what's happening with the gray and that guy, and it's tough though because I think there's three or four horses going at the same time, three or four teams. But yeah, man, real cool. And the next to that event, the one I love as well is the wild cow milking, which you don't
Yes.
see that often anymore. But that thing is rank. It gets Western real quick.
Yeah, it does, dude. And I remember the days of Calgary Stampede, man, when they used to have the wild horse race and wild cow milking. Like, I'm pretty sure the Milan brothers are champs at both, at multiple rodeos across everywhere. Anywhere they've done it. I'm pretty
Anywhere
sure
they've
the
done it.
Milan brothers have a buckle for it.
Yeah, you do not see them. You do not want to see them pulling in with their rig.
No, because
If there was a wild cow milking, you might
they're
as
gonna
well go
win the
home.
bulldogging and the freaking wild cow milking. It's insane.
All right, buddy. Let's talk about your insane mission, your run here. You've done so many rodeos in the past few weeks. Tell us about some of the high points. What was it like?
Yeah,
What was it traveling? Insane traveling, bro. You were just like
yeah,
not even sleeping, just living off of monsters.
dog.
Right?
Yeah, dude. Super blessed for the work. I couldn't be more happier for how quickly some of this work has come to me on the microphone. Like it's just felt so natural and so good. Again, the same thing. Stay out of your own way. When something feels right, just keep going. And that's kind of how
And
this has
I wouldn't
felt.
say quickly though. I feel it feels quickly to you in your mind, but for someone watching, you've been doing this for years, man. Like you've been hustling for a long time. Like
That's true.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you've been out there showing your face, doing gigs, like, you've been out living this life for so many years that has prepared for you to do this. So yeah, you've been working hard. You deserve it, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's really cool to see the seeds that a guy plants, however long ago, start
Yes,
to
sir.
actually grow and bear fruit. So here we are eating, brother. So yeah, man, I kicked off my middle of May, working on Billy the Kid. Got a wrangling call on that movie, as a lot of
Yeah.
people who've been following me for a while now know that I work the movies and stuff, and I love that shit because I got to watch just like Western gunfights, and I get to learn
Oh,
and see how they shoot it and how they film it and all that kind of crazy
and get
stuff.
paid to ride a horse. Like
Hmm.
freaking
Yep.
amazing.
It's freaking badass. As many
Yes,
horses as you
sir.
want to ride today, man, they will let you.
That's
So
awesome.
started doing that, and then yeah, left on a Wednesday morning for Grand Prairie. There's a perf Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday up there. Couldn't be more happier how that went. I really enjoy that committee up there. I get to MC a charity event on the Thursday night. This year we did like $177,000 raised, like crazy
Amazing.
money flowing into that
Congratulations. I
place.
saw that. And what's the money going towards?
It goes to Sunrise House Foundation up there in
Okay.
Grand Prairie. It's kind of, it's a house for kids that need a safe place to go and get to go learn some skills and do some jobs and kind
Amazing.
of set themselves up for success. And
Man,
so
that's
it goes to a
rodeo.
great cause,
That's
right?
rodeo. Always thinking about others. That's amazing. Congratulations on being a part of that, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, super. Second year got to do that. Super stoked.
And let's talk
Um,
about the Grand Prairie Rodeo. Looks
mhm.
amazing. Like
It's a big rodeo, man. They have a
it's
ton of
big.
money. SMS Tour Rodeo.
Yeah.
They got the wagons up there, and I mean the
Beauty.
best of the best float up there to old GP to run one. So it makes my
That's
job
awesome.
pretty fun when a Stephen Culling goes 3.6 or 3.7 in the bulldogging, and I get to interview him or Angie Ganter. Fuck, I mess her name up sometimes, dude. I add
Don't
one
I'm
too many
terrible at
N's.
names.
It's so funny, but
Names
I've
are
got
tough.
to interview Angie 2 years in a row up there
Nice.
for winning the round in the barrels. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to talk to some people up there and have some fun. But then, dude, this was the crazy part was I was going out to do the Weyburn Bronc match, and that was on Tuesday.
That looked amazing with Wacy and
Yep,
Keenan. Oh,
that's
can't wait
right.
to hear about that,
And
man.
old
Looked so
Robbo
good.
Schmidt. And
Yes,
dude,
sir.
so I left Grand Prairie at like 5 p.m. on Sunday by the time I got wrapped up and had a bite to eat quick and said goodbye to everybody. And I drove from Grand Prairie back to your house.
It's so far, man.
I got
GP
to
is so
your house
hard.
at like midnight.
Wow.
And
I was not here.
no, Felipe
Yeah.
was gone.
I
Poor
was, who knows
Clarita.
where.
I hope I didn't wake her up.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You were quiet. She said you were a very quiet guest.
That's good. I
But
tried to
man,
just
that's a
tiptoe around.
long drive. Like Grand Prairie is far as
Yeah,
what?
dude. It was like 7.5, 8 hours. And by the time you stop for a snack here and
Yeah,
stop
of
because you're about to
course.
fall asleep there, like the
Yeah.
stretch from Olds to Calgary
Oh.
is brutal.
Especially when it took you like 5 hours to get to Olds or however long it
Hmm.
took to get to Olds, right?
And I've been yelling on the mic all day, every day
Yeah.
for the past 4 days, 5 days. So I was just gassed, dude. Absolutely gassed. So get to your place at like midnight. I think by the time I got into bed, it was like 12:30. And then I was
Wow.
awake in an Uber at 4:15 in the morning to go to the
Wow.
airport to meet Keno and Wacy
Oh
to get
dear.
on a plane to go to Regina. And then, yeah, so that trip out there was great. Never been to Weyburn before. And all the trees, there's no trees. So anything that's planted, they're all just like bent to the east because the wind was blowing so hard.
That's where the wind lives, apparently.
Yes, dude. Windy Weyburn is what they were calling it. And I see
Wow.
why.
Wow.
But it cleared up and the sun came out for the bronc riding. And I guess last year it was
Nice.
super muddy and not nice weather. So everybody was super stoked. I like to think that I take the sunshine with me because I've been to a couple shows this year where they usually get rain and they didn't. And I was just like, well, it's your boy.
It's me. I don't want to take full responsibility for this, but yeah,
But yeah, so we go out to Weyburn. That was a great show. I got to like introduce Morgan Claiborne, the opening band, to like kick off the rodeo, and then I got to introduce Robert and Butch Knowles, dude. I got to hang out and have a coffee with Butch Knowles for like 2 hours on Tuesday morning at the hotel. It
bro,
was so awesome.
Butch knows should have his own stamp. Like
Yeah,
this guy is
put him on the bill.
put him on something. Like
Yeah,
he's a freaking beauty.
yeah,
Beauty. One of the nicest like people in the rodeo world, like with that kind of like fame and legend status. He's one of the nicest I have ever met.
yeah. Agreed, man. And how he looks and sounds when you watch him at the NFR is
Yeah.
exactly how he looks and sounds when you sit down and have a coffee with him at 9 a.m. in fucking windy Weyburn.
Yes, sir. And his laugh,
Starch Wranglers, dude.
like that gut laugh, like it's
hmm
so good, man. He's a beauty. What an honor, to get to work with Butchie. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, to get to share a microphone with that guy and throw it back to him in the booth, like just over the moon stoked, man, right? Like,
That's awesome.
yeah, so I was super happy with how that show went, and then I got to catch up with a really good buddy there too. I haven't seen him. He's been out there grinding on the old bronc riding trail. Sawyer Erickson, shout out! He just won the Wildwood Bronc
That's
match, which
awesome.
is huge.
Yes, sir.
So I got to have a really good BS with him because I saw him in GP and Classic. He rode his bronc and had to jet to get to Leduc that day, right? Like, just because you go work these rodeos don't mean you get to see the boys because they're in and out so fast trying to
Oh,
get everywhere. And
yeah.
had a couple whiskeys there and enjoyed the cab and had a good time. And
Nice.
then we were up early the next morning, flew out of Regina again, came home, worked the Thursday on Billy the Kid, like just went right back to work.
Oh,
Fucking work to work to work to work to work, you know? And then I got pretty sick on Friday, so I stayed home Friday, which was much needed because then I flew
yeah.
to McGregor, Manitoba for our BRC on Saturday morning. So I
Oh
flew to
dear.
Winnipeg, got in there,
That
like
tiny plane. Where'd you get in that tiny plane?
dude, that was to go to Prince George.
Oh dear.
Flew out at listen to this too. So this plane operates out of Central Mountain Air, which is its own terminal on the southwest side of the YYC airport, right off McKnight. And
Okay.
it's like in an old executive building. And so you park in this chain linked little fence area, and I go walking into this building, and there's just two ladies with one spot to weigh a bag. And they're like, ID, please. Give them my ID. There's no security, nothing. They look at my ID. They're like, okay, you already paid online. Great. Oh, you already paid for bags. Great. Okay, wait here. All right, roll it over those big doors over there. That's our baggage drop off. And it's just
Oh
like this
dear.
small little waiting room of like this executive building. And so I was like, fuck, okay. So they're like, there's snacks and coffee around the corner. So I was like, all right. So I go walking around there, get a coffee, call Tiger. And then I go sit around on the other side because it's getting close to time to board our plane. And I'm sitting there and they kind of make some announcements and blah blah blah. Well, their announcements are them just yelling into the waiting room. There's no speaker or anything. She just yelled it. And then I like turned to grab something out of my backpack and I bumped and I still had my knife on my hip, dude,
Ooh,
in its sheath. And I was just like, oh fuck, like that's not good. So I like slyly took it out and put it in my backpack. But thank God CMA doesn't have security. I just
amazing.
got on this plane with my knife. It was rank. It was just a bunch of boys going to work. Like
That's awesome.
it was awesome, dude. But yeah, we go walking out to this um prop propeller plane with
Yeah,
one seat per side, 8 seats. So I was just
yeah,
like, holy shit, dude, this is the smallest plane I've ever been on. And it was so funny because the guy flying, like there was obviously no stewardess walking to the alley, nothing. You could see right into the cockpit. I was
yeah.
looking right out the window the whole time. And this fucking the guy he just kind of like clicks the button and it's just like we're getting ready to land or whatever, please put up your tray backs and your seat backs and blah blah blah. And then how he checked was he just like looked over his shoulder at us and he just like looked at us, smiled,
Everyone's
and
still
then
there. That's so
it
funny,
was ranked,
bro.
dude. We were in the air for like maybe 45 minutes.
It's like it takes longer to take off than like
I sat in
right
their
than you're in
freaking
there.
waiting room longer than I did on their plane, bro. It was awesome.
That's so. And how did the perf go there?
It was great, man. Prince
Yeah,
George, that was a beautiful place. It's like its own
yeah,
fortress in the trees, man. Like when we
yeah.
got down below the clouds and like looking down at the forest, it was just ranches and homesteads and houses carved into the trees, man. You couldn't see your neighbor and stuff like that. It was a cool place. I enjoyed it up there. It was good rodeo. It was beautiful weather. I guess last year, same deal. It was like underwater. This year, the Friday night was absolute soup for their big
Oh,
barrel
I
jackpot,
saw
but
that.
Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday was so nice.
Nice. It's a beautiful part of the world, man. And I mean, it's a rodeo. You can't go wrong with rodeos, especially in beautiful part of the world. Like that's just
Hmm.
a win-win.
Yeah, and so many new rodeo fans, like first timers ever
No
at this
way.
show. Yeah, so that
Oh,
was
that's
incredible
good
too.
too.
They get a lot of newbies.
That's good to hear, man. I feel like rodeo's cool, right? We're
Hmm.
back to it. Everyone's excited. People that have never been to rodeo are going. You must feel that when you're going to all these perfs, right? You get a lot of new folks out.
Yep, yep. Because I asked for it too. Who came last year? Whose
Oh,
first
okay.
time is it ever? And like especially when they give me merch and stuff to throw out and swag
Yeah,
to give
yeah.
out, like I always try to find one or two people that like, hey, thanks for coming. Like
That is
seriously, thank you for
freaking
coming. Like,
awesome. Yeah, man, because then you got a rodeo fan for the rest of your life, right? They had a
yeah,
good experience. They'll come back next year. They'll tell others about it, and that's what it's all about.
yeah, absolutely. I forgot to mention though that when we flew back from Weyburn on the Wednesday morning, I went right to the King Eddie for
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the King Eddie. How did that
yeah,
go?
dude,
That
that
looked
went
epic.
phenomenal, bro. That went so good.
Tell us about the King Eddie.
So the King Eddie show was a cowboy shit live podcast at the
Yeah,
King Eddie downtown, which is a
yeah.
dope ass venue. And essentially, I was brought in to kind of open the show, do like 7 to 10 minutes of my Western stand-up comedy, and then sit up on stage with Ted and his three guests. He had Foxworthy Girls and El Mule, which is their guitarist.
Okay.
So that's essentially what happened. I went in there, I ran some freaking hilarious cowboy comedy bits and
Nice.
kind of got the crowd warmed up and
Yeah.
and got them going, and then invited Ted up, and then we brought the girls up and El Mule up, and Ted did a lot of the interviewing, and I kind of just chimed in with crazy shit to say and whatever, and kind of if there was a lull, fill it. And yeah, we had a great show, man. We sold quite a few tickets, and it was funny because the Oilers game, first night of the Stanley Cup Finals was on, so there was like people in the back corner watching the game at the bar and listening to us at the same time, and yeah, it went really good.
And
We're
it's
pretty
it's
happy with how it turned
you
out.
guys were there the whole time on stage, right? So I guess like while they like if they when they stopped the song, then Ted would ask them a question, you would chime in type thing. Like it was just ongoing the whole night.
Yep,
I
yep. So
love
we
that.
brought him up, talked to him a little bit, and then we'd kind of segue it into a song that they wanted to play. they would do the song, and then we'd talk about it, and we'd talk about whatever else that would segue into the next one, and just kind of learned about, why'd you write it? How did it come to you? What were you doing? Just kind of stuff like that, and learning about them and just kind of their past as a creative and a musician. And yeah, it was it was a good
That's
night.
awesome. Man, it looked amazing. I wasn't here for it. Obviously, I'm never here for anything that's cool. I'm always here for like the lulls. It's like, what's going on? It's like absolutely nothing. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. I'm here. But yeah, I mean, I saw it online. I saw the photos, a lot of posts on Instagram. It looked freaking epic.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Pretty stoked. And then yeah, Prince George was my last big weekend. I went up to Ponoka on Tuesday to announce the long score breakaway
Yes.
jackpot.
How was that? Looked
That
amazing.
was incredible, dude. We made history. First time breakaway ropers have ever
Wow.
ran down that laneway and broke and breakaway roped. And
Oh
we had
dear.
57 entries. It paid $3,000 cash to win it. It paid 6 holes in the average. It paid 6 holes in each first two
Nice.
rounds, which you got two guaranteed, and then top 12 back to the short round. We paid four monies in the short round. Yeah, dude, you had like 22, 23 chances to win your money back
That's
that day
huge.
as an athlete. So, and it went so good, man. The girls loved it. They showed up. They roped freaking good. Um, Colin and I videoed most of it. We got the first round all videoed, so I'm chopping that up to get it live, and then we
Nice.
missed the second round due to some technical OBS
It happens.
issues,
It happens.
but we got the short round, so I'm gonna put up the first round and the short round so people can see it and watch it, and the girls can watch their runs back. And
That is awesome. Big
yeah, dude, it
things
was
going
ranked.
on. Big things going on
Hmm.
in Cole's world. Big things going on in the breakaway roping. I'm very excited. I need to talk to you about this. Are you going to be here July 1st?
Yep,
I want to go to Panoka. I've never been. I'm never here for Panoka. I'm
dude,
always
are you
somewhere
home for
else.
the 28th? Because I rope on the 28th.
That is right. I arrive back from um, Arizona on the 27th at night. So I
Oh
will be
yeah.
here on the 28th. What time do you rope?
We'll run our first one in the slack in the morning. I think that starts at 8. And then we come back, run our second one in the perf, which should start at 1.
All right, bro. I will
Yeah, bro.
definitely be there. I'm
So
so
tune in to Cowboy
excited.
channel if you guys want to
Let's
watch your boy.
go. Who are you roping with?
Jeff Drisner.
Beauty.
Yeah, bro.
Have you turned a few with Jeff? Like, have you roped with him much?
Not yet. We're gonna get a practice session next week when I get up to Ponoka.
Nice.
But dude head's really good, rides really nice horses, and likes to win money. So I'm really excited to heal for this guy.
That is freaking awesome, bro. Congratulations. Good luck. We'll be there for sure. Yeah, I'll be there for sure for the 1 p.m. But I don't know if I'll get there early. Depending on what time I land, I got to check my flight. But that's exciting, man, to run one in
Yeah.
Panoka. You run one, the last year was the first time you ran one down there?
Yeah, last year was my rookie year down the laneway.
That laneway scares the bejesus out of me. Like, bro, it's tough, eh?
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I had some people that have had a lot of success at that rodeo kind of
Yeah.
just talk to me about strategy of where to be in the alley
Yes,
and
sir.
kind of what not to do in the alley. And yeah, dude, I feel like our slack run in the morning went super, super good. I kind of placed that steer where they kind of said you maybe want him, and I hit the mouth of that laneway at a full fucking speed, which is what you want to do. You don't want to get
Yeah.
caught pulling. So I'm
Yeah.
really, really excited to get back up there and stretch old Chanchito's legs out.
Were you healing last year as well?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you think it's harder for the header
Um,
or is it equal?
you know, there's just so many variables on both sides going
Yeah.
down that laneway. Like as a healer, you could really set your guy up for failure if you push him left too hard, or even
Right.
worse, you let him step right. Like, but then as a header too, like if you misjudge and you go early and you get caught pulling, and then all of a sudden you hit the mouth of that box and that fucker's gonzo, like
Yeah.
you don't get caught up in that place, right? So I think there's just so many variables. It truly is just a Cowboys game, and you got to be in the moment and just really be ready to adapt and let that muscle memory do the adapting.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, it's a lot of variables. Like it's so hard and
It's
it's
nuts.
depends on the stock. Like it depends on so many different things where And then timing, like it's so freaking hard. But yeah, man, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited. So Panoka, it's gonna be my first time there. Actually, I've been to Panoka before. It's funny when I got my horses for the ride in 2012, riding from Calgary to Brazil. Brian Anderson and Lisa from Copper Spring Ranch. Lisa was running barrows at Panoka, so they hauled Frenchie and Bruiser up from Bozeman, Montana,
Mm.
to Panoka. That's where I met the boys. But it was just like unload them, put them in a new trailer, and I went to Olds to work with them for 7 days before Calgary. But so I didn't get to see anything. I was
Man.
there. I saw the contestants. I saw everyone there. I was in the um what's it called, like the back area. But
Hmm.
I didn't get to see the rodeo, so I'm so excited for this year.
Bummer. Yeah,
Especially with
dude.
you, I get to freaking watch with someone that you're cheering for. That makes it a million times better. Like any
Yeah.
sporting event, when you know somebody that's competing or playing, it's like, yeah, now I'm invested in this. Let's go,
Yeah,
Cowboy
the
Cole.
emotion is really there. And dude, it's
Yeah,
changed so much since you would have been there. Like, it's a
yeah,
literally a big old fucking gladiator arena, man, with big grandstands
yeah.
all around it. It's like you're there for battle.
Man, and so much money added this year, like
Yeah, dude,
insane.
60K.
They're doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Got to give it up for Panoka, the entire staff, everyone that's on the board. Like, what an amazing rodeo! One of the most prestigious in the world today. If you talk rodeo, like
Hmm.
everyone knows what Panoka is and what it represents.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Sir.
But we've been talking a lot about me, dude. I need to hear about your travels because, like we said, we haven't chatted since like the beginning of May. You were
I
headed to
know.
Wyoming. You were doing a big ride there, a big ride in the Dakotas, I believe it was, and then you were poof gone to the South Country, and I mean like the deep
Yeah,
South.
the deep south. We're not talking Louisiana here.
We're talking that deep, deep South.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. So last time we spoke, I was in a little cabin in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, um, which is one of my favorite towns in the whole world. What a beautiful place, so expensive, but
Mm,
oh dear, is it beautiful. Clarita and I drove from Calgary. We went down to Gardner. She had never been to Yellowstone, so I
mm.
was doing this ride. The first ride was in Cody, Wyoming. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drive down and show Clara the most beautiful place in the world. So we headed her down, dropped into Bab, Montana, which a lot of it's what I rode as well, which was super cool
Yeah.
to kind of go through the little spots, and went through Glacier National Park, which is unbelievable. Then we ended the day in Gardner, which is the north gateway to Yellowstone. Really cool little town, beautiful next to the Yellowstone River. Slept there. Woke up the next day, went into Yellowstone, did the northern part of Yellowstone, saw so many animals, saw
Mm.
bears and bison, and it's so beautiful, bro. Like honestly, if you have a chance, have you been to Yellowstone?
No,
You got to go. And
I
everyone
haven't.
listening and watching, like you have to go to this place. It's like the diversity of like wildlife, fauna, and flora. Like if you don't believe in God, you will believe in God after your trip to Yellowstone. And the fact that it's on top of one of the largest active volcanoes in the
That's right,
world,
dude.
like which is like the top of it is blocked off by this huge boulder, and that scientists are always studying it as to why it's not exploding, and they believe it's because of this boulder that sits there perfectly, like it's created a lid. But
Mm.
then everywhere you go, there's like smoke coming out of the ground and like hot water shooting out, and like it's insane, bro. It feels like you're on the moon. And so anyway, so from Gardner we dropped down to West Yellowstone, this really cool little town as well. It was awesome. They have a gun range there that you can rent any gun you want in the world, like semi-automatic,
Oh,
automatic, like
sick.
anything, and then go shoot the target. It's like $60 for 25 shots. And it's so crazy because like classic America, like you walk into this little shop, there's one guy working there, and the guy is with these people shooting. So you get there, there's no one there, no one manning the shop. There is like 50 guns in front of you. And we kept thinking, like, I'm like, man, someone could just grab this gun and walk out the door. Like they're not in a safe, they're not locked up, they're just on the wall. And then I think to myself, oh, okay, well, you can steal the gun, but you can't get the ammo. I'm sure he's got the ammo locked up somewhere. So that's okay. So then the guy comes out after he's done shooting with these people, and he's like, "All right, so what do you guys want to do?" I tell him I want M16, I think it was, whatever it was. And you
Nice.
got to sign these forms. He grabs the M16 out of the wall, puts it on top of the counter, goes right next to the counter, and there's all the ammo, and it's all unlocked. And he just grabs like the ammo and just like says, "All right, let's go to the back room." And then again, the front is unmanned for whatever 20 minutes while I'm shooting in the back. So that was really mind-boggling to me that no one is manning this up. Like you could just take some of the like craziest weapons in the world and just go shoot up the town.
How'd you
But
like that
anyways,
M16?
oh, unbelievable,
It
bro.
was rank.
It's so rank. Like, and it's crazy. Like, I don't shoot that much. I don't have that much experience shooting. So I was like, am I going to hit this target? Like, but if you put the target that you're looking at where you want it, it's going to go there. Like I was going for headshots and I just missed one out of like 25, 26 shots. So that was good. And then, yeah, I went to dinner that night, then woke up the next day, went back into Yellowstone, came out in Jackson Hole where you and I talked last time. And we were interviewing Cole Harris, which was a great
Hmm.
episode as well.
Very good.
And then from there, drove to Cody, Wyoming, met the group that I was leading, 20 people. This group was just Brazilians. And it was the day of the Kentucky Derby, which is cool. So we got to watch the Kentucky Derby. And then the next day, drove to the ranch. This thing was rank, bro. Like
I bet.
one of the most beautiful ranches I've been to in my entire life. Like this thing is ridiculous. Like the lodge was just like the most beautiful log cabin I've ever seen. Everyone had their own little log cabin to sleep in. They had a chef there to cook us like amazing meals.
Whoa.
Yeah, 3 times a day. They had seven. When you drive in, you see seven Chevys loaded up on the trailer, like so
I did
beautiful.
see your story of that, dude. What a beautiful
Just
sight,
the
eh?
rigs. I'm like, man, how much these people spending just on rigs? Like,
Right?
frick. And then, so that's the cool thing about this ranch is that, like, I've been to a lot of different ranches around the world that you could take people riding, but usually it's like you wake up in the morning, you saddle your horse, and you ride out of wherever the ranch is. Like this place, because they have the seven rigs, you get there in the morning, you load up the horses, and then you take them 20-30 minutes down the road to different trails. So it gives
Mm,
you the opportunity to ride in different places every single day, and like very different. Like one day is like a huge mountain, the next day is a crazy valley, like because they're an hour apart. Like one day
that's
you went
cool.
half an hour this way, the other day you went half an hour the other way. So yeah, man, just an amazing experience. We had some really cool people in the group. Like the one of the best parts about doing this as well is that you're not only like seeing this beautiful part of the world and meeting these horses. They had over 100 horses. They have quarter horses and Mustangs. But one of the coolest parts is like getting to know these people that you've never met before. Everyone's from a different place in the world, and by the end of it, everyone is best friends. Like it's so cool, man. Like the horse is such an amazing tool to bring people together, and everyone's there because they love the horse. So automatically you get people that are kind of in line in their thoughts and religion and yada yada yada. So unbelievable experience. Then we finish there. We drive to the other side of Wyoming, which is right by the Dakotas, right on the edge there. We get to see this. It was the first natural. What is it called? First natural, I forgot the word for it, but it's called Devil's Tower. It's this
Hmm.
like crazy rock that comes out of nowhere that they've studied, and they can't understand how it got there or why it looks like that. It literally just like propels out of the ground, shoots straight up. It looks like a tower
Oh
in the
yeah.
middle of nowhere, and the sides of it looks like a bear has clawed it or something. And for the First Nations tribes in the area, they all have stories that relate to bears. Like there's one of them that like these three little girls got lost, and then they met. God came down to them and said, "How can I help you?" And they're like, "These bears are stalking us. You got to help us." So they stood on top of this rock, and then God made this rock raise to the sky, and then the bears were kind of clawing it to try to get to the little girls. But yeah, man, it's absolutely insane. The ranch was humongous. I want to say it was like 5,000 acres
Whoa.
or unbelievable, bro. Like humongous. That ranch, we just ride in the ranch, but it's so big that every day is a different ride because it's so big. They also have over 100 head of horses, most of them quarter horses. And the family is originally from Italy, which is really crazy. Like, and they moved to the US. I want to say 30 years ago, the dad and the kids, and now they've just adopted this Wyoming life. And yeah, it was unbelievable, bro.
Hmm.
Like, and that ride, we had Americans, we had Canadians, we had Brazilians. So 20 people again. Just feel blessed to get to know 5 days of just riding horses in beautiful
Yeah.
country and with awesome people. And then from there, I flew to Brazil, did a bunch of talks and a bunch of events, and just got back last week to Canada. So feels good to be back. I left on the 29th of April and I got back like whatever mid-June. It was
Oof.
crazy.
Yeah, dude, you're talking about my crazy ass travel schedule, man. You haven't slept in your own bed in a month and a half, dude. That's
I
crazy.
know it's
That's
crazy,
so
bro.
long.
It's a long time, and people are always like, "Oh my God, it's amazing! You have such an amazing lifestyle. I'd love to travel that much." But it's like, come with me for a week, and I don't know if you'd feel I'd be that. It's awesome. I love it. I feel blessed. I dreamed of this. I orchestrated this. I am the architect of this crazy life. But so
But it
sometimes I need
still
to
works
step, but
sometimes,
it's
right?
still work. Oh, it's still working. It's
Yeah.
tiring, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like imagine you drive from Calgary down to Wyoming. You do two rides with 40 people. It's like I love it. It's amazing, but it takes a lot of energy, right? You're with
Yep.
these people 24 hours a day. You've driven thousands of kilometers. Then it finishes. The next morning, you wake up at 6 a.m., get on a flight. And it's probably a 4 hour flight because you're bouncing back in the States to get to Texas. From Texas, you got 10 hours to Brazil. You get to Brazil, get on a private plane for 3 hours. You talked about this private plane had four seats. You
Oh,
two people here, two people in front of you, and they freaking block the cockpit. Like the pilots put this as soon as they take off. It's like it's very sunny, so we're going to block the cockpit. So they're flying blind. I'm like shitting my pants. I'm
oh
like,
my God, what the
we're gonna
hell?
die. Like this, as you know, tiny planes, you feel everything. They're like,
Yes.
don't worry, this is safe. We're flying on like they don't need to look, right? They're flying off of what's it called?
Off the GPS or whatever,
Yeah,
the
the GPS.
satellite
They
stuff.
have a name for this thing, but anyways, yeah. So it's tiring, bro. You get and then you got to do this talk, and then you got to fly somewhere else. But it's tiring, but I love it. And I feel blessed to be able to do it.
Yeah, dude. I think about that all the time too. I have to really manage my energy and kind of what I'm giving because like when you go from rodeo committee to rodeo committee to rodeo committee, like you're never really getting time to yourself unless you go hide in your hotel room, right? And like
Yeah,
essentially just be a recluse. And yeah, a person's you gotta watch your energy. And when you're riding horses
yeah,
all the time, that burns so many calories. So even physically you start to get drained
yeah.
and then mentally you start to get drained. And yeah, guys gotta be on top of it.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. Any energy, like exactly what you said. It takes a lot of energy to do this kind of stuff, to talk to people, to be on all the time, and
Hmm.
you really do need to find moments to just kind of like recharge the energy and bring the energy back up. But yeah, man, amazing few months. Summer's here. It's gonna get super busy now. It's
Yeah.
already been crazy busy, but I know it's only gonna get busier as we move into late June, July, August. So we have a big announcement. We are going to end season one of Should
Hmm.
Have Been a Cowboy with this episode right here. It's been an amazing journey. Like, let's talk about like what has been some of your favorite guests. Like they've all been extraordinary, and we thank everybody for taking the time to speak to us. But like, if you had to talk about one or two or three, what would it be for you for special moments so far?
Yeah, dude, it's been so cool how we've went from a guest like Shad Mayfield, to a guest like Amber Marshall,
Yeah,
to your buddy Daryl,
yeah,
to Taylor Bacandy with her social media and with her videography and stuff. Like, we've got to talk to such unique guests who are doing exactly what we're doing. They figured it out in their own niche and in their own way, and now they're running with it. It's taking off for them, and now they're just like, holy shit, here we go. Right? And it's all the way from the scale of Amber Marshall, who, with her crazy audition tape and what she had to go through to get the
yeah,
Heartland part, and now look at her life, to Shad Mayfield and everything he's been through to win his all-around title and
yeah,
chasing the calf roping title. And then Taylor, who literally got DM'd by Shad and was just like, social media girl, question mark. And she's like, yes. And this was after she was like, oh, I would love to go to work for somebody like a Shad.
yeah.
Boom, right? And now she is. So like we've just got to talk to such unique guests, and same with Daryl with their trail riding and with his men's mental health night and
Yeah.
everything he's doing. It's just like, man, we're talking to people that are doing big things.
Yeah, man, exactly. And I think that was always the goal for this podcast, right? In different walks of life. That's what's
Hmm.
cool about it as well, right? We didn't want to just talk to people in the rodeo world or the Western industry or professional athletes. It was just about like, let's just talk to anybody that has a cool story and is willing to tell it to us and has things that you can pull from it, right? And I think all of them were so inspirational in their own right. We talked to an actress, we talked to a world champ, we talked to people that are creating content out there, to a bobsledder,
Hmm.
like Daryl owns a logistics company. Like we talked to so many different avenues of life and people and but they all, I think, are hustling and are creating beautiful things and are just creating their own path and writing their own story. And I think that that's what it's all about, just like us. And I think it's awesome to have those people around, right?
Hmm. Absolutely, dude. And we ran into a busy time for ourselves, like we were
Yeah.
chatting about earlier, unfortunately where we live seasonally, when the sun's shining, baby, we got to go make that money.
Yes, sir.
But I think it really showed the door that we're opening for the types of people that we want to have on moving forward when we kick off our season two.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we ain't done. Like that's the dope part is
No.
like we are just getting started.
It's funny. I wanted to like do a hoax. I've been just so busy and I didn't do it. But I wanted to pretend like we had some beef, like something happened, like we got in a fight, like and then that's why, like just to create rumors that the pod was gonna like end because Cowboy Cole and I whatever, like some like ridiculous, some really funny
That would have
stupid.
been funny.
Anyways, I didn't. It's just it's been so busy. I haven't even been able to prepare the hoax. But anyways, we're gonna be back probably in the fall. I want to say
Hmm.
with another amazing season of Should Have Been a Cowboy, just inspiring human beings, all walks of life, doing their thing. So stay tuned for that. And let's while we take this hiatus, let's try to organize some clips that we haven't dropped yet from past interviews
Yeah.
and continue to drop them so people can listen. If you haven't listened yet to past episodes, make sure you do and check us out on YouTube as well because you can watch while you're listening to all these amazing stories.
And check out our pretty faces. Dude, speaking of pretty faces, I mean, you can't really tell now, but 2 days ago I got a hot shave for the first time in my life.
What is a hot shave?
That's where that's where they like lather you up and straight razor you and stuff
Oh,
like that.
yes.
And
How was it? I've never gotten that.
I did not enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really? I thought you were
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
talk it up. What happened? Run us
I
through
was
it.
so excited for this. Everyone had told me how just like refreshing and blah 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 it is. And dog, like I love my guy for cutting my hair. He does such a good job. But man, oh man, that hot shave, dude, it hurt. It did not
Oh,
feel good. Like it was not an
really?
enjoyable experience.
Really? Were you bleeding? I hear they cut you quite a bit.
I wasn't bleeding. No, I don't know what it is, man. I feel like my beard is so thick and like coarse that it was just like and maybe his
Oh,
straight razor
God.
needed to be sharpened.
There's
I
so
don't know,
much
but like
blood. Oh my
yeah.
God. He
It's
pulls
Johnny
out
Horn.
this razor belonged to my great grandfather Willie. It's
It's
like,
rusty.
yeah. That looks like a street corner in
Yeah.
Mexico. There's so many freaking
Ooh.
dents in that thing in the
Sorry,
holes.
dude. I'm actually gonna pass.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So I need to go get one. I have never,
Try it out.
but I mean, I agree. I think just looking at it, like the time it takes, the hot towels all over your face, and yeah, it doesn't seem that
It
enjoyable.
was $40. Now my haircut went from like $38 to fucking $88. And I was just like, hmm.
That does not sound like a deal.
Yeah, good thing I got paid cash at Panoka. Frick.
Good thing I just bought a ring.
Yeah, for real, right?
Cowboy Cole will be cutting his own hair for the
Yeah.
next few months. What's the Microsoft guy? Bill Gates, bro. Bill Gates, that's how he made all his billions of dollars. He cut his own hair.
Cut his own hair. Well,
Cut
we
his
can
own
tell,
hair.
buddy. We can tell, Billiam.
You ain't hiding it from anybody.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's great.
Anyhow, thanks for hanging around. If you're still here with us to the end of this episode, we love you. Thanks for everyone that messaged and was worried, thinking that Cowboy Cole and I had gotten a fight. We should have done that hoax. We still love each other. We haven't seen each other in a while, but we're gonna change that very soon coming up here.
Hmm.
Cowboy Cole, congratulations once again.
Thank you, brother.
Newly engaged, off the market, ladies. Get your handkerchiefs out, start crying.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see this, what you guys are going to do together, you and Tiger, this next chapter of your life. And should have been a cowboy. Big things coming up soon. Season 2 drops. Who knows when?
We'll see you soon. Hey.
Yoo-hoo!